All right, folks, let's go ahead and take a look here at HarmonyOne. And just before we do, we look at Bitcoin first, get a quick understanding of the market. And if you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only, but my role is to help facilitate a good learning environment, help you understand and become a better, more effective trader. I have a trading community, link in the description below. Check that out. There's a description video if you'd like to kind of understand more so about what that entails. Really awesome situation. I send out signals for every single trade that I take. All right, moving forward here with Bitcoin. This is the one-day chart. We've got a doji candle currently forming at this point. We've got another hour left of trading before this one-day candlestick will close, but there is an ascending wedge pattern essentially forming here. But just bear in mind the doji candle does kind of signify there might be a turnaround. That's typically what it implies. And tomorrow being Monday, I think it's best to possibly wait to take entry to ensure we are finding a lower point, a lower price point, maybe possibly consider taking entry closer to a support level. Okay. Support level right now is 53,800, secondary support 52,600, and of course the resistance tentatively at about 56,000. Until that candlestick breaks 56,000, it is still considered to be, in the same shape here. In other words, that is going to be a strong resistance moving forward. We will see, of course, in time, but that's kind of where we're at. And one last thing here, we're above both moving averages on the 4-hour correction on the one-day chart, and looking at the 4-hour, we're above both as well, but the 50 will likely work as a support level here soon. So just keep that in mind. The 4-hour chart does give us a little bit different data, but for the most part, we're looking very good here for Bitcoin. Now taking a look here at HarmonyOne. Let's go ahead and just kind of big picture first and work our way down. And see, what's cool about HarmonyOne here is the fact that it's taken off significantly. Right? So I sent out a signal not too long ago, and we all got in about 15 cents for me and my community members, and we just took about a 77% profit here just a little bit ago. So really awesome situation. And I do want to provide this video to them as well, so that way we can kind of see what's going to happen next. I do feel profit target number 3 is likely. We should be really, really close to the top half of the what it would be called. So I think it's 35 cents if I'm not mistaken. That's the number that we're shooting for. And I'll explain what I mean by that here in a minute based on Fibonacci retracement. That being said, for right now, though, let's take a quick look at the numbers here. We're breaking up above 70 on the RSI. Bear in mind, this candlestick hasn't closed yet. We've got another hour left of trading, but if this does close where it's at presently, we'll be up over 70, which basically just means that could work as a support level moving forward, as well as the fact that we have, what is it, a MACD convergence? No, it didn't even converge. It just kind of bounced off the top. That's an even stronger sign. We had that 3 days ago, obviously, for this larger candlestick here. We're above both moving averages, which is a great sign. Obviously, even if the price were to retrace back down, the 50 should work as a support moving forward. So all in all, really good stuff here for the one-day chart. I like that. Let's take a quick look at the 4-hour. Obviously, we've seen a lot of volume and volatility here in the most recent setting here. The more recent high is basically working as a support level. Yes, it broke below and stayed below for about 8 hours, but it broke above and continued to stay up. So we can kind of reaffirm the fact that, 21.7 is a current support level. So the price has retraced back down. It may likely bounce off of that support. And there's also a secondary support level here as well at about 20 cents. So all in all, pretty good stuff here for HarmonyOne. Why don't we go ahead and take a quick look at Fibonacci and kind of see where this might put us, right? I think it's going to be very, very close to our profit target. And taking a look here, we can see right around the top of Fibonacci, 0.34. So I might adjust the profit target number 3 here to ensure that we are still able to make that. But just bear in mind, we have plenty of room for growth here still for HarmonyOne. So all in all, we're going to be in pretty good shape if we see a continuation. But what we probably will see is some kind of support, and we can see this right here on Fibonacci. We can see we got a strong support level here forming right at about 24.3 cents. So that might be a good place to consider putting your stop target, or perhaps just maybe even adding to your position if it were to come back down and bounce. It all depends on obviously where the one-day chart will close here in a moment. If this candlestick can close above right where we're at, we're going to be in pretty good shape. But we'll just go ahead and kind of keep that mark there. We'll also go ahead and mark the current highest point as well, just to ensure we respect that as a resistance level. But all in all, yeah, looking pretty good here. Let's go ahead and get rid of fib. So all in all, what we have right now, we have basically a support and resistance channel. So we should expect the price to kind of trend between 24.5 upwards of about 26.7 cents. Now, again, really depends on what happens in the next hour and where it's going to close, but my speculation is it won't go much higher. It'll probably continue to go sideways for a little bit, just based on how much momentum it's had here in the recent past. because obviously we had this strong leg up here. That was about a, 35% increase in that 24-hour period. And then we also have another increase here today, roughly about 25%. So the reason why I'd like it to not go any higher is because we want to have a good state of consolidation, right? The only reason why it has this leg up here is because we had this nice little chunk of consolidation slash retracement. But do you see how it jumped up to a resistance level, came down and effectively blocked or bounced off of the support channel? That's a really good sign. Ideally, the same exact thing will happen here. It'll reject at 26.7, bounce off of 24, perhaps even consider adding to your position here based on how Bitcoin performs moving forward. Because keep this in mind, HarmonyOne does very well when Bitcoin is growing, right? If Bitcoin goes sideways, HarmonyOne kind of does the same thing. So just keep in mind there's a social sentiment here that Bitcoin is doing well, the greed index is much higher than the fear index, therefore HarmonyOne is taking off. These are good signs, good things, but if we were to see, a sell-off to just say 50,000 for Bitcoin here in the near future, it's going to be a different story, which is still likely. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to concern you at all, but tomorrow being Monday, after a green weekend, for lack of better terms, and just a really strong Friday, I think it's a good chance we might see some type of retracement, essentially early next week. That's just my guess. With Bitcoin, I think we're going to come down, which will inevitably drive prices like this down. So heaven forbid we lose a support level of 24 cents, just say 24.3, I think it is. We have a pretty strong channel here, right around between 20 and 21 cents, which is, again, the most recent previous all-time high. That's where that channel is formed. Okay. Again, when an all-time high is broken, it creates a very, very strong support level. All right. Therefore, we are looking pretty good here for HarmonyOne. So I would recommend taking some profits while you can. The probability of it going much higher right now, I think, is fairly low. But again, it could happen. Just depends on Bitcoin's movement in the near future. You probably hear me say that a lot, but that's why we look at Bitcoin first, to ensure we know exactly what's going on in the market. Okay, so you have been warned in a good way, though, right? Because it's not like it's going to come crashing down on us. But if Bitcoin does perform poorly in the next 48 hours, you can expect some consolidation and/or specifically more so retracement from HarmonyOne. Okay, let's take a quick look at the 1-hour chart and call it a day. We can kind of see here with 2D sequential, we had probably a 9. Yeah, there it is. We've seen, well, a couple. We actually had a nice continuation back here when it broke its all-time high. See, it kept pushing up even higher. Then it comes down, goes sideways for some time, and effectively bounced off this support level and increased again. But bottom line, we see a 9 right there. We have a period of consolidation for 4 hours, one more leg up to hit that resistance level, and I foresee it probably retracing back down. I don't think it has much gas left in the tank. I really hope that I'm wrong, honestly. I want to see it hit target number 3 for our patrons. That's 35 cents, but I might adjust that based on Fibonacci kind of indicating that the higher point in this little run will likely be somewhere in the range of 34.5. So I may consider adjusting that, just depending on how the price action performs the next couple of weeks here. Okay, so I'll pay close attention to that as well, but if you haven't already, feel free to consider joining my Patreon account. Really awesome community there. We've actually got a trading community where we all communicate openly about the trades that I'm taking, and I share every trade that I take with my community members, and we have bots to follow along. One-click follow, really cool situation. Anyways, check that out in your own time. Thank you so much for my patrons, of course, for being my patrons, but more importantly, always, having great faith in the system and being good traders too, because honestly, if you follow a nice, patient way of trading and you follow the fundamentals, it really, really benefits you greatly. So again, well job and kudos to you all in doing so. Now, moving forward, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for your time here today. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.